E aí galera, bem-vindos ao Diário Califórnia, Thiago Lima. Então, hoje eu tenho duas entrevistas de emprego aqui. Na verdade vai ser o primeiro, assim, os recrutadores me contactaram via LinkedIn e eu vou fazer a primeira entrevista via telefone. E aí eu vou estar gravando aqui para vocês verem mais ou menos como é que eu me vendo, como é que eu conto um pouco da minha experiência, entendeu? E também como é que eu escuto os recrutadores falar e apresentar a vaga, essa coisa toda. Então é isso aí, espero que vocês gostem, estou esperando aqui a ligação deles. Assim que o telefone tocar eu começo a gravar aqui e vou fazendo aqui na live para vocês. Abração e até mais. Tá, só uma coisa relevante aqui que eu esqueci de falar é o seguinte: a informação que eu tenho sobre as duas vagas até o momento é o seguinte: uma é uma vaga de desenvolvedor Python Senior para a área de São Francisco, é Bay Area, e é uma agência de Digital Creation e tem um salário base de 180 mil anual e é full time. A outra vaga é na área de medicina em San Diego e ela não me falou qual é a tecnologia, então eu não sei qual é a tecnologia. Então literalmente vai ser um primeiro contato com os recrutadores, onde a gente vai estar trocando uma ideia, eu vou estar sabendo mais sobre a vaga e vou estar falando sobre a minha experiência, minha expectativa de salário, com que tipo de tecnologia eu já trabalhei, minhas certificações, essa coisa toda, vocês vão ver. Então é isso aí. Entra à espera aqui entre o recrutador. Espera pro recrutador ligar. Vem menininha aqui, ó. É menina. Menininha agora tá grande, usando cueca, ó. Usando cueca, né, pai? Não sabia. Dá oi pra galera. Cortou o cabelo. Oi, galera. Vai, fala. Oi, galera. Tô com cabelo novo, bem bonito agora. Como ele disse, mamãe comprou o cabelo pra mim, não foi? Mamãe comprou o cabelo pra tu? Mamãe comprou cabelo novo pra tu, não foi? Comprou cabelo novo. Muda a vida de papai. Vai, papai tem que se concentrar agora. Pode ligar um pouquinho aqui? Então galera, o telefone tá tocando aqui. Esse aqui é o John, que é a vaga de Python Senior. Vamos ver qual é. Hello?
Hi there, is this Thiago?
Yes, is it John?
Yes, it is. How are you, my friend? What's going on?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Trying to, I guess, stay busy. LinkedIn was down for the last, 2 hours, so all of my, everybody in my recruiting office is going crazy. No one knows what to do. Everyone's very bored. But it's back, it seems like. So I'm resuming my calls, and thankfully it came back just in time for our call. Otherwise I would be kind of lost. But in any case, Thiago, happy to chat, my friend. How's your day going?
Oh, really good. Actually, I just stopped to get your call. I was expecting it.
Okay.
So, but the morning went well so far. So, you told me it's a senior Python developer position for Bay Area,
Yeah.
a digital creation agency, something like that, right? Can you talk a little bit about the position?
Right. So I figured we'd talk a little bit, about a couple of things. Like the first is the position to see if, like you said, it may not be the best fit because you're not specifically Python, which is okay. But I looked at your profile, Thiago, and I said, all right, he's got a pretty strong background. I might still have a conversation with him anyway because, frankly, Thiago, I am working on a ton of different roles. And if there was one that piqued your interest or that I felt like was a really good fit for you, then there's no reason why we can't have a conversation based around that. You know what I mean? Is that fair?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Good. Let's talk about you a little bit. I mean, tell me about what are you up to right now?
Yes.
Tell me all about it.
Yes, sounds good. So, first of all, as I told you, my background is mainly Java, but I'm technology agnostic. So, for example, I've been working for around 1.5 years on a new project, which is Node.js. So, I haven't been dealing with Java for a while right now, and I had to pick up Node.js from the ground up. And right now, I'm pretty familiar with Node.js and its intricacies. So, I'm pretty much working on AWS Lambda right now, serverless infrastructure, Node, also a little bit of Express. And my background is basically distributed applications and AWS. I'm certified Amazon Solutions Architect at professional level. And also I'm certified Scrum Master as well. And in the past, I've worked on many different projects and many different fields, like nuclear medicine, pharmacy, and also IT itself. And different size of projects like monolith application, microservice application, also breakdown of monolith into microservice, and also DevOps stuff. So I do have some Python experience, both Python 2 and Python 3, but the experience I had with Python were mainly DevOps specific, mainly doing code to deploy environments on Amazon to different stages like development, production, staging, and automating all that using Boto 3 library. I also have done some open source projects on cryptocurrency to how can I say, to track cryptocurrency price, and also some automation projects for Amazon, something that's more specific to try to explain, but something that I use to keep on spot inches in a static way. I don't know if you are a technical guy to talk in deep about this kind of stuff.
I will say this. I understand the concepts. I don't pretend that I'm a developer and can kind of get to the nitty gritty with you, but everything that you're saying makes sense to me so far. So I guess that's a good starting position. But yeah, I follow. I'd be curious, Tiago. I see here you have a certificate in mobile development. What applications or what languages have you used for mobile development?
Well, I've done that in the past. I've done that in the past, mainly with Android. I also took a whole year course into iOS as well, but I don't really do like mobile development. That's not my thing. I mainly work on big distributed applications, microservice, architecture design. So for example, on the company I'm working for today, they have a 1.0 version of an old system, which is done on C#.net, and I'm basically redoing the whole thing into a 2.0 architecture, which is distributed, which is using Node.js, which is using serverless, and not only that, but we are doing a lot of data model change so that we can, their business to apply assessment to kids to try to find like different disease on kids, like diagnose anxiety, cognitive disease. So today they have like 400 different assessments, but they are all on paper, and their system only supports like 16 tests. So they have an online platform with 16 tests and 400 tests on paper, and we are expanding the data model so that we can embed more tests faster, because today they have like a lot of business logic which is not data driven, so that it's really hard for them to embed new tests. So that's the goal for the 2.0 architecture.
Okay. It looks like a lot of the client work that you've done, Tiago, has been in the world of medicine and healthcare in the last 5 years or so. Is that the trend that I'm seeing? Is that right? I mean, a lot of prescriptions, nuclear medicine.
Yes, I mean, not the last 5 years, but like 3 years ago, I've worked on a nuclear medicine startup, and we've built a prototype from the ground up. It was using Spring. By that time, XML, the Spring Boot wasn't out yet, so it was Spring XML and JSF, and they basically built everything from scratch, since the scheduling of patient to the calculation of radioactive material to be injected into the patients. And one of the owners, because actually they already had a business in nuclear medicine where they would manage the whole basement on clinics and hospitals. So one of the owners had like a PhD thesis, where he could inject just half the amount of radioactive material into the patients and get the same quality of image. So the whole software was based on the format that he developed. And I've worked for a whole year on this project. It was really database intensive. So we had to write a lot of stored proc for this specific project. And then after 1 year, I got an opportunity to work remotely, earning in dollars, because by that time I was living in Brazil, earning in reals, which is like a weak currency compared to dollars. So I moved on to our software. And then on our software, I didn't work on medicine field, but I've worked on many other projects and way bigger projects, way more modular distributed applications. So that's when I started working on A-Line, which is like a proprietary continuous integration system. That was entirely Spring Boot, 14 different microservices, all talking through SQS skills. So that was a big challenge for me. I also had to deal with Java agents, which was also a new thing for me. So I had to learn a lot. That's pretty much it. I mean,
yeah, that's awesome. So I'm thinking, after hearing about the breadth of your experience here, Thiago, I have one particular role that I'm thinking might be a solid fit, just given some experience that they're looking for, and a lot of the system design work and a lot of the microservices work that you've done, I think would be relevant. And they are in the healthcare space. The tech stack they employ is Node in the back end and React front end. Is that stuff? I mean, you've worked there, right? I know you said you're a technical polyglot, but is that stuff that you're familiar with?
well, actually, that's the current stack I'm working on right now. So I'm fluent in it at this time.
Let me send you this job description, Thiago. So let me tell you a little bit about the company. And the reason I want, here's the way I like to do this, my friend, is I like to say what I'm going to say over the phone, and then after we hang up, I'm going to send you an email with the job description and the information so you can do the research on your own and make sense of it yourself, right? Because I think that is important instead of just making you answer as to whether you're interested in a 20-minute phone call.
Sounds good.
So I'll tell you a little bit about the company, and then I'll send you the information via email. But the company is called H1 Insights, like the letter H as in Harry, and then the number 1. And what H1 does is they're kind of creating a healthcare connectivity platform that, think of it as like the LinkedIn for doctors, where it's sort of a network where all medical professionals around the world can kind of, inhibit and talk about, what they're working on, talk about research and peer-reviewed research papers, and talk about, different medicines and different methods that they're employing around the world. And then the other end of it is it's a way for the public to literally look up reviews and testimony on doctors. So, I think in the United States, the referral system is very interesting because, if I go to my primary care doctor with, let's say, an arm injury, my arm is bothering me, the only way that I get a referral from him is because he, either has someone in his network or he knows a doctor personally that specializes in that. But I really have no way to tell for myself whether that doctor is any good or if it's just the first referral that came to mind. So each one is kind of seeking to provide a bit more transparency in the healthcare space, and they're doing it in the form of this social networking application that they hope to have off the ground and running in the next little while. So it's a really interesting time to be joining the company. They are a startup, and they're looking for senior full stack engineers who come with a good amount of experience in varying environments and basically can contribute to their developer team. So like I said, that's the quick elevator pitch on them. I'm going to send you an email with their website and with their LinkedIn page and with the job description.
How big is this company? I mean, how many employees, developers?
I think they have between 1 and 200 employees total.
Okay.
Yep.
So is it in Bay Area? Is it remote?
They are based in the New York City area, yes.
A New York City area, but would I have to relocate or could I stay working remote?
It is a fully remote role. They're comfortable being remote, very much so. And I think what they're looking for, again, is someone who kind of has the sort of varying and, technical polyglot experience that you bring to the table. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So like I said, what I'd like for you to do is take a good look into the information that I'm going to send. And if you're interested in pursuing, let me know, and then we can, talk about what those next steps will look like. Basically, I have your resume. If you are interested, I can submit you to the company, and then if they want to speak with you, I come back and I'll schedule all of that and kind of work through it, with you as the middleman for the company and all of that. Does that all make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense. But could you talk a little bit about salary at this point or not yet?
Of course. No, of course. That was the next part of the conversation. So it's a couple things, right? We talked about location. They're fully remote, so that's nothing to worry about. I want to ask about salary leveling. Tell me what you're looking for in a full-time, salary position. What's the number that it would have to hit for you to be interested?
Well, base salary, I'm talking like base salary other than benefits. I'm looking around 160, 170 for base salary, plus benefits like 401k match and healthcare.
They're looking to pay upwards of 140 or 150 or so. I really, in base salary, could not go above 150. Is that $10,000 difference from your bottom end? Is that enough to at least warrant a conversation, or is it way too low for you?
Yeah, I think there's a difference. I mean, not only because of the money, but because of my current work situation, the company I work for is pretty laid back. So if I gotta take something new, like a startup where I'm going to dive into and work really hard, I mean, it has to be worth, you know what I mean? It has to work.
Yeah, of course, that's fair. That's totally fair, man. And believe me, if I could go up in salary level, I would, of course. It always benefits me to get, the most money for my candidates. But unfortunately, I think they are really, really stuck at that 150 number being the high end. So that's kind of where they are. Is that fair?
Well, I mean, we can, yeah. Let's see that later. I mean, I gotta check the benefits plan as well. But
of course,
as I told you, if it's only to match my current salary, I don't see a point because, as I told you, I'm pretty laid back right now at the position I'm at. They sponsored my visa. They are willing to do my green card as well. And I mean, to do a change to work more to earn the same, no, I don't think so.
What is your work authorization right now?
I have a H-1B that was sponsored by them, so I just started the first year last October.
Okay. Just need the transfer sponsor.
Yeah, we got a transfer sponsor. Yeah, that's the first thing.
Okay. Well, they are willing to do that. They've done it for us in the past, but I'm more concerned about the salary. Now, like I said, I think you kind of said the same thing, so we might be on the same page. I'm not really concerned about that right now as much as it would be, okay, let's take a look at the full package at the end of it all. But we haven't even had the conversation with them as to whether they'd be interested or whether you're interested. Maybe you have a conversation with someone over there and the product sounds extremely interesting, or, you just have a very
and if they offer like a...
Right, and then...
I mean, I don't know if they offer any equity package because that's something I'm really interested on because in the end of the day, my dream is to become like a CTO or something like that, or earn a part of a business where I can take care, like if it's my own business. So I don't know. So if you have like startups where they offer equity package as well, that's something I'm really interested on.
Well, they do offer equity. They definitely do offer equity. That is part of any offer. So that's significant. Listen, I think this is what I think, Tiago, is that, we've had a good initial conversation. I'm going to send you this information about the job. And if you, again, I'm not saying here, let's sign on the dotted line, but if you're interested in at least having a preliminary first draft conversation with a member of the organization, this would be the way to do that, right? As we can see, just generally speaking, if there's a fit, even if we're a little far apart on money or, there's certain things about a potential offer that don't check the boxes you're looking for, it never hurts to have a conversation, right? So that's the only thing that I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds really good to me. Send me the job description. I'm going to analyze the company and maybe we can schedule an interview with them.
Yeah,
sounds
absolutely.
Good to me.
So the way that it works from our end is we basically take the candidate's resume and we send it to them. And if they want to speak, then they get back to us. And if that does happen, of course, I'll get back in touch with you and we can schedule everything from there.
Okay, sounds good. Actually, I got to update my resume a little bit because the last experience, I mean, the job I'm currently working on is not there yet. So I can update it and send you, today night.
Okay, that's totally fine.
Sounds good.
That's totally fine. We can take our time with this. That needs to rush through. It's something that we can definitely, we can take our time on to make sure that we get it right.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, Tiago, I'm going to send this information your way, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you can reply via email with what you think, and then we'll maybe schedule another time to double back and have a conversation if that's necessary.
All right? Sounds really good to me.
Okay.
Thanks for taking your time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. I just sent the message, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Okay. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, you too, man. Bye-bye.
Então, galera, é isso aí, 15 minutos, tá ligado? Na verdade, acho que até falei muito, algumas horas era pra eu ter dado um pouco mais de brecha pra ele falar, passei um longo período de tempo, assim, falando, sem deixar ele interromper a fala, né? Mas é isso aí, tem que matar o cachorro a pau, entendeu? Tipo, é falar mesmo, vender, entendeu? Falar sua experiência, botar a banca mesmo, quando você pode, lógico, né? Quando você não pode, você não vai botar, né? Que você tá procurando qualquer coisa, mas quando você tá procurando algo melhor, que realmente tem uma vantagem sobre sua situação atual, tem que colocar a banca, tem que saber se vender, porque assim, ser bem sincero, nem vale a pena fazer entrevista técnica, nem sei se vou passar na entrevista técnica, mas nem vale a pena seguir todos os passos até o final, se não for para receber uma proposta que eu não vou aceitar, entendeu? Só vale a pena se for realmente uma proposta que vá me levar para frente. Se for uma proposta para ficar na mesma coisa e trabalhar mais, não tem futuro para mim, é melhor ficar onde eu tô, uma empresa super gente boa, empresa muito boa, na verdade, é que eu tô hoje. E assim, tô fazendo essa entrevista mais pra vocês mesmo aí, pra vocês verem como é essa questão mesmo, entendeu? De tipo, entrevista, mercado de trabalho. Porque assim, atualmente eu não tô pretendendo mudar, porque meu trabalho paga bem, como eu tô dizendo, é super laid back, não tenho que trabalhar feito escravo, trabalho, entrego o que eu tenho que entregar e pronto, sem desespero. Eles querendo ou não patrocinar o meu visto de trabalho, eles também estão querendo patrocinar o meu green card, então tudo isso eu tenho que levar em consideração, entendeu? Eu não posso simplesmente querer levar em consideração só salário, porque o cara vai pra Amazon, vai pro Facebook. Aí quando vê, recebe uma oferta para ganhar a mesma coisa, ou então ganhar 10 mil a mais. E também em compensação vai trabalhar 3 vezes mais e não vai conseguir tocar nada, nenhum projeto paralelo, não vou conseguir tocar aqui o bloco para vocês, nem nada disso. Então, tipo, tudo isso aí você tem que fazer accountability, você tem que fazer um measurement, tem que medir e saber se vale a pena ou não. Então é isso aí, eu vou fazer a outra entrevista, mas eu acho que esse vídeo é isso, vai ficar muito longo se eu colocar a outra entrevista nesse vídeo também. Então vamos encerrar esse vídeo por aqui. Eu vou gravar outra entrevista também, mas se eu vier colocar outra entrevista, vai sair em outro vídeo, não vai ser nesse não. Então vou ficando por aqui, um abraço para todos vocês. Não se esquece, deixa o like, porque eu tô aqui produzindo pra galera, tá ligado? Deixa o like, se inscreve no canal, compartilha com os amigos aí. Um abraço para todos vocês. Fui!